Well, Rita and Roy grew up to be a young man and a young woman during those 5 years we lived in Evergreen. Rita got to the age that she could get a driver's license. Roy had, of course, done that a little earlier. Don't remember much about that being anything particularly hard. Probably because I think his grandpa Williams had let him drive quite a bit earlier when he'd be there visiting in Kansas. But the driver's ed car at school was an automatic, and we had a shift clutch car. So the time came when it was getting closer to graduation, and she'd be driving our car a good bit, and Rita was dreading that clutch and those gears. So we went up to the junior high one evening after school, and all the cars were gone. And, of course, with the family car with the gear shift and the clutch, oh boy, since she dreaded it and feared it, it was a herky-jerky thing to get started, a gear-grinding thing to change gears. Oh, I shuddered for her and for our poor old car. But in one evening, she pretty well got the hang of it. And after another evening or two, no problem. But I'm sure that she never forgot how hard it was to make the transition. But in those Evergreen years, I worked hard at school, and I worked hard a lot in the evening working on that research paper for the education doctorate degree, the EDD. And in that process, we traded cars. And here we've got two drivers, a son and a daughter, both good drivers. And Donna's always been a good driver and never minded driving at all. And since I was tired, I started to look forward to trips of any length because we'd gotten a station wagon. And boy, oh boy, if that station wagon had to move, I got into the back seat and stretched out and went to sleep. I think maybe that station wagon didn't get with us until we were up at Sheridan. But when we got the station wagon with the new drivers and the wife that liked to drive, I didn't drive much at all. In fact, Donna used to joke that I'd be asleep before we got out of the drivers, before the drivers got us out of the driveway. While we were there at Evergreen, Rita entered the Stars of Tomorrow one year and sang the song I Can't Say No from the Oklahoma musical. Did a good job with it. Her mom played for her. Could practice at home, that sort of thing. And, I think she just about won that thing. Of course, how fathers are. We're a little biased. But I knew most of the judges, and a couple of them told me later that it was close between her and Tony Mayette, and little Tony got the first prize. On occasion, Rita was employed by a household. I don't know who had given the head of the house Rita's name, but oh boy, this is one of those really rich people's houses, a big house, servants and all that sort of thing, and they threw big parties, and they'd hire her to be part of the serving crew when they would throw great evening banquets. I think Rhonda was really pretty much, I think Rita was pretty much blown away by how extravagant the settings were, the decorations, the gowns, the food. She did that several times, and I think she enjoyed it every time. Rita never asked for much of anything. She was just a good kid that got along well at school and home. I was always proud of her. But there at Evergreen, she began to bug us about getting a dog. A dog? A poodle. About the lowest kind of dog on a scale of 1 to 10. And in my mind at the time, that hardly qualified as dog. But she kept talking about it, and come to find out, she had a dog spotted. A lady down close to where the kids caught the bus. You know, a lot of times buses don't run right on schedule, so they'd kind of visit around the places of business that were there. And I don't know if she was a breeder and had a lot of dogs or not. But pretty obviously this dog, Perry, had not, and I don't know if his name Perry before Rita got it or not, had not been bought for the kind of money she wanted. And as she saw how much that little girl wanted that dog, she told her, if your folks will let you have that dog, you can have it. Well, heck, you've been putting the kid off saying, I can't afford to buy a dog. Never bought a dog in my life. If you want a dog, we'll go to the pound and get an intelligent dog, one of them survivor-type dogs. So you finally say, well, okay, but you have to take care of her. And she's your dog. Boy, we got that dog, and she took care of the dog. She'd save her money up to have it clipped and so on back down there where she bought it. Well, that dog was very protective of Rita and of Rita's little sister, Rhonda. One time, that Rhonda was always an independent-minded, stubborn little kid, and she got into trouble with me over something. And I had told her, now, or the belt's coming off. And if the belt came off, it got used. Well, it came off. And so she then takes off flying down the hall, and I'm going after her. And man, that little old Perry had come from nowhere like a ball out of hell. Went by me and just nipped me as it went by. And it went on down and got between me and the girl. Protect her. Well, when later up at Evergreen, she and Ron were talking about getting married, we said, well, Ron, there's one thing, the dog goes with the girl. I guess maybe we figured she'd always have a friend for sure, and if need be, a protector. Rita, what a young lady.